Welcome to Steve's Vintage Electronics Long Stay Workshop, where things come to looked at for various reasons. And this is another one of the things I got from Collaro, which has been looked at probably by somebody else. But it's quite interesting. Again, it's no record player, it's a tape recorder. And the record players, I do tape recorders mostly. I've done 2 or 3 record players. I have one coming up, but not right now. Now, in the record field, Collaro made a couple of interesting record decks, one automatic and not. But tape recorders, well, they were equally complicated, equally simple, and this was one of theirs. This is interesting, isn't it? It's interesting, and it's also the very first auto reverse tape recorder in the world. It doesn't auto reverse, so it has 2 players, one for each direction. And also this is 3 and a quarter, 7.5 and 15. So in a way it's quite interesting deck for that reason as well. It's called the Collaro Tape Transcriptor, and it plays, records, unwinds in both directions, so you don't have to lose the tape. This one doesn't have auto reverse, but this is the first one of its kind, so it's interesting for that reason, you know, for that reason. So put the top off it. Come on, off. Thank you very much. We'll have a look inside and see what it is. Basically, each direction there's fast in that direction, play and record and stop, pause, and of course these for record. So record, that goes across, that goes down. Okay, so that's how it looks that way. Yeah. Also, this has got one of these with it. That's what I'm 100% sure. And of course the maze lead. Now, one of these maze leads is similar to Grundig and what to others. It's one of those leads. The plug looks a bit yucky, but I'll leave that for now, because most people, as you know, are very careful about what they put in these things and when they start them off. Now, I know for a fact that this has been switched on, so I know that it shouldn't do anything nasty. I've had that one before, I know. But I'm in fact going to simply do the necessaries and plug it in, because life's too short. Life's too short. And also, sometimes when you bring things up on a variac or something, it can in fact do more harm than good in some respects. So it's worth considering that as well, because sometimes it will in fact do more harm than good, because valves have what's called secondary emission sometimes. So sometimes it's better off just to go for it, which is what I've done here now. It's listening and making a noise, not a bad noise, but a noise. So there's more turns in this, there's more turns, there's 2 in this. This is a 2 motor deck. 2 motor deck, this one, so it's you know, it's, you know, as you'll see, if I was to take it apart and put a mirror down the middle, each side is a mirror image of each other. That's how it works. It's actually quite complicated, but the same way, quite simple. It uses an EM, I think it's, you know, the magic card that comes up and across, the rare one. So it seems to be still quite active in this, so that'd be okay. So yeah. Anyway, play. Ooh, okay. That means it's playing in that direction. A little bit unintuitive, I know, but that's the case. So that way, and this way goes that way, and that's one thought I found straight away. Okay. Wind, same applies. On the wind, same applies. And record, well, again, you just put that across, put that down, and lo and behold, it's in record mode. So it's quite simple in that respect. It really is. So therefore, I'm going to get a tape, plug it in, and we'll see what happens. So, get a tape. Go up here where my tapes are, what I'm going to use, put one on, and see what it has to say for itself, if anything. This, by the way, is a 7-inch reel deck, so it'll take more than these 6-inch reels, 5 3/4 inch reels, but these are the hams, so they will do the job perfectly well. So now, right, play. Oh well, first of all, it's most of it working. So we'll go forward a bit. Should go a bit faster than that, but again, that's oil and grease and that, but that's something we can deal with. Okay. So now, there we go. This way should play both sides of the tape. Which there might be something on, there might not. I don't know. So we'll go forward a bit more and see. Plus, I've got 2 or 3 of these to do, so you know. You find out if it's working or not. Okay, but what I'll do, there's 2 trigger points, because this machine also has heads for recording, head to playback as well, and so for that reason, if it need be, then I can take off the tape, flip it over manually, put it on the other way, and see if that will play anything this way around. If it does, then we know that it's a tape and not something on the switch and on the. If it doesn't, if it does still not play anything this way around, then it's obviously going to be the switching. So so let's see what it does, shall we? Right, okay. Would help to get it in right, wouldn't it? Okay, this way around. Okay. Strange with these, having to look at it the other way around first of all, but so you do get used to it, but you do have to think first before you do it. Let's try the track, shall we? 7.5. Oh dear. Okay, well, let's try 15. Ah, well, okay, well, something there as well, isn't there? So the speed control needs to be looked up. So we know from that it's that needs looking at. So let's get the tape off, let's get inside and let's have a look and find out what is going on with this machine. Maybe a lot with this, also capacitors. I'll look at it a few as well and see what needs to be changed and what doesn't. There will be some that do need to be changed on something this, or if they've not been changed already like they were recently and that Murphy. But this machine, as it stands, it does basically work. So we're going from a reasonable place to start with, which is good, shall we say. Unless you're like me and you like doing the crap, but you know, it's yeah. So, right, well, switch it off like that, unplug it. You know, Andy sometimes talks about a time at Goulburn where I asked him how to put a tape recorder together. He was doing it, he suddenly said to me, "Is it unplugged?" It wasn't. I knew, you know, he's never let me forget it, seriously. I mean, what was he going to try to do? Kill him? Dear, oh dear. Anyway, these people do make mistakes, and that's all it was. Honest company, that's all it was. Yeah. So the first thing we'll look at is that speed control. Find out why that's not doing it, doing anything above 3 3¾ because it should play at 7.5 and 15 as well. But it's not doing. But maybe this machine was one that only used at 3 3/4 because 7.5 is the semi-professional and 15 and 30 are in fact 30 not on this, but 15 and 30 are the speeds used by professionals. So it's quite possible that was what they were doing, you know, so yeah. One, two, three, 4. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The one in the middle's missing. There's no problem. I can get another screw for that. No problem there. So let's find out what's been done on this and what happens. This should come off. Okay. And this comes off here as well. Okay, fine. Well, I'll get this off here as well, and then we'll get inside and have a look and see what's going on with it. It's apart, and now let's have a look inside and see what's going on. If you look at the deck, you see that side and that side are mirror images of each other. If you look, because if you put a mirror up there, that side and that side, you will tell that they are the same as each other. The only thing, like I said, is that this play goes that way, which is counterintuitive, but that's the way it does it. So you know, there you go. This goes that way, which again, you know, is counterintuitive, but there you are. Also with these, there's these here. So without a tape on, it won't do it. But with that and that apart, with the tape, it will play. That's here and here. So that's something else which needs to be looked at, because I think that might be the problem. See, as it stands now, if I play now like that, this isn't moving, yeah? But if we do that, that moves okay now. And of course this side as well, so if we hold them out together, which is something which I'll try and do, hold on. it should operate, but now it's not doing so. Obviously, probably this wants nothing more than oiling and greasing, but you know, that we do first of all. But now you see, put tape on now, you see, which I'm going to do hopefully without losing it everywhere, which is what I normally do with these. If I do, I'll you know, I'll freeze the camera and put it right off camera. That means I can swear while I'm doing it. See, because that goes through there like that, and this goes through here like that. That goes through there. That goes through there. And now it's not doing it. Oh, that's why. Speed control. Okay, fine. Well, there you see it also. It's speed control again. Look at that as well. But you see, it's all to do with speed control here. I think most of the problems with this. So, you know, well, most of them anyway. Line up this one. On the side here that leaves the microphone, it's actually jack plug, so I think it is anyway. Oh, it is on this actually, because this is a semi-professional machine. Same, which is what this is. They're semi-professional machines, so this is actually something that somebody had, and we using it for, you know, professional use. So that's why. So anyway, I'll run it for a bit and we'll see what else comes up. Yeah, it's all that way, isn't it? Yeah, I think they need to be looked at, don't they? Besides, I like swing music. This tape recorder is a Sound A20. Now, some people think that Collaro and Sound were linked. They weren't, because there were other sound machines with other decks as well. So the two were not actually the same company, although I think they were linked. This is the manual for this deck. The electronics, I think, might well be okay on this. Might well be. I don't know for sure, but the deck definitely not. Now, in this case, the one problem we do have is with the speed control. That's pretty obvious. If I was to switch on again now like that, yeah, going backwards as it were, yeah, like that. Again, it's now only going one speed, which is fine. We'll come to that. But obviously the speed control has got a problem, that's obvious. And also only goes one way, only switches speed one way anyway, so there's a problem there. Now on these decks, like I said, when I'll put the camera up so you can see, hang on. there you are. Now with these decks, if you're going that way, the correct way as it were, again I'll put the power back in, yeah. In each case both motors are used, so that way around, that's the wind, yeah, and play, as you can see there it works fine. But if I was nipped to 7.5 like that, it's still at 3 3/4. Now if I switch to 15, again, yeah. Now also with these decks, on any speed at all, both motors are used. And the motors on these, by the way, I'm warning you now, they are not the same motor, they go in different directions. And so if you have to change a motor on one of these, make sure that you get one that goes in the right direction, otherwise fun things can occur, as it were. So pass wind that way, goes that way. I know it's silly, and in that case it's that motor that does the fast wind, obviously, yeah. And on the way, thank you very much, yes, that's something else. Back now at 33, at 3 1/4. What's happened here is that one of these, this one here on this motor, drives the capstan here and all that, and the other one is the pickup. Yeah, I thought I the same torque actually, so it can actually, if you should be careful of that, yeah. And of course this one it goes and does the playback or record idler. The other way around, of course, like that. Play, that's rewind, it is slow. Playback, there you are. And that's like it's okay. But again, playback, wind that way. This motor is now the take up and the play on rewind, and the take up on playback, and this one is now driving the capstan and idler here by this. I can show you better actually on this here. So let me get set up and I'll show you on the circuit diagram on the diagram as well, because I think you might possibly see it better on that, but that's how it works anyway. Here's the circuit of the diagram of the unit in question, with it taped on obviously. Right, anyway, so when that wind is depressed, it goes that way, as shown on the circuit here. Here you see, again you see, upper track and lower track you see there, you see, so it shows you on there, which is okay there, but not when you're actually working on the unit with that in place. So with that one, this one winds the tape and nothing else, yeah. On playback, so that one winds it that way, yeah. So all the motor is used on playback and wind that way. That motor is the take up when it going backwards, and also on wind as well, yeah. Now this one here, again, same thing, but this way, you see. So it's now this one here which is doing that. Now as far as play is concerned, I don't recall for that matter, but the deck is concerned, they're the same. These here drive the big wheel and the capstan here, so it's these here which drive it, yeah. Now this side works okay, this side doesn't, which is fun in itself. And of course that is basically the wind this way is slower as well, which means that this motor is the one that's got the problem, and so it probably wants oiling and it probably wants realigning. That's all it wants. Okay, now as far as that that noise on playback is concerned, when it's switched on, that is either the switching underneath here or on the circuit over here. I haven't got the circuit to hand, but we'll look at the motor first on the motors and the deck on this first, because that's with these, majority of problems with these will be the decks. Take it from me, the majority of problems on these will be the decks. Goes without saying, will be the decks. And the first thing you do with anything like this, mow reels on, that play, it doesn't wind as well as it should, and there's some knocking here from somewhere, I don't know. Yeah, play, that's okay, I'm still knocking obviously. This way around, it's set at 15. One of these motors is being slowed down as a result on both play and record. Which one it is? Ah, okay, so it's this side. Okay, so it's obviously around here. I could say something there, but this is a family channel. You see there, you see straight away it goes. So the problem is obviously when the motor around this side, like I said before. Also, by the way, if you look, it slows it down a lot as well. So it slows it down an awful lot actually. Now that might be adjustment, or it might be a problem. We don't know as of yet. But the manual for this deck is very, very comprehensive. So if we go any further, power off, like that, and let's have a look and see what we can find, if anything, on the circuit. Now, obviously, this wheel's okay. I'm loose, by the way, very loose in fact, both directions. This is okay. That's okay. That's okay. And you can see there and there. The other side, that's okay. That's okay. That's okay. So they're loose. That's okay. But I'm not happy with the speed control. So that's where I'm going to start with the proceedings. Now the speed control on these, you get from underneath the chassis. Again, I'll show you the circuit. Hang on. This is the back of the units in question. The two motors, as you can see there, they're different. Again, if you put a mirror down the middle, you'll see that one side is a mirror image of the other. So that's why the two motors are different. So, like I said, make sure you get the right one. Now, the speed control from the top goes down here, through here, and to these here. Now these here are what vary the speed, you see, to here and here. So it's all mechanical, and all needs to be realigned probably, which is, I hope, what the problem will be, as well as possibly putting some oil in one of these motors, depending on, or both of them, you know, while I'm there, you know. But these are at a place, well, the speed won't change, or it will get stuck or something, which is what's happening. So one of these works, one of them doesn't. And so now, got to look at getting the unit apart, which is the next thing that we look at. And again, with it, I forgot, I've got the circuit on my system, but I don't know if I got the mounting instructions. And so I'll have a look first and see exactly how it comes apart, because this might be a bit of a beggar that way. Right, well, first of all, screw here, screw here, screw here, and screw here. and the deck should come out. The electronics are held in place by 3 screws on this side here, Phillips screws. So and obviously the two are held together by this screw here. If you look, there's that there which goes to electronics. So I think this will come apart in 2 pieces. So first thing we'll do therefore is undo these screws and see if it helps us at all. Sometimes with one hand it's a bit difficult, which is why sometimes I tend to do it off camera, because of my non-Zuckerberg friendly language, shall we say. Yeah, I swear a lot. So these screws come out and the deck should come. I hope that it is actually socketed. If not, then the whole lot has to come out. Now, lot machines this are like that EAR machine that I did recently. The problem we had was that some things were socketed and some things weren't, so yeah. Well, I've got the thing out of the case now. It was all plugged apart from one thing, so I had to snip a couple of wires. I'll come to that in a minute. That's the power supply unit, yeah, which looks okay, but I'm going to find out about what those capacitors should be, but I'm not convinced about the ones that are in, so I'm going to look at those and change up something a bit more beefy, I think, because certainly is at 80 could handle more than 50 microfarads there, so that's something which we need to do. The sound unit is here. It's this here, and hang on, I'll just bring it in a bit. There you go. That's the sound unit there. Now, mostly it's been done already fairly well. That speaker wires which I had to cut, so that was I put the speaker on there. That goes to the power supply, and that for the record, for the tape deck here, goes into there. So that's the work together. The connections for the one advantage of having one that works and one that doesn't is that you can look and you can see exactly where it's not doing what it should. In this case, if you look here, you see there's the speed there, and there's this here as well, you see, which is not going, which this one here goes up and down quite well, as you can see there. Yeah, the little you see. Now if you look there, you see that, you see they've gone completely in into the finger there, you see. This is the side that works, yeah. Now the side that doesn't work, and I'll just adjust the camera so you can see that. Hang on. Can you see that? Yes, I think you just about can. On this side, this pin here doesn't go all the way and back in like it should. It sticks. Now that means that the wheel that selects the speed and drives the idle wheel here on the outside is not going where it should be doing. And now with the record deck, with the tape deck actually in place on the bench here and on play, now you see that's 15, yeah, but does that okay, as you can see there, yeah, both directions probably, yeah, one way and the other, yeah. No, so it's 7.5, that's 7.5, yeah, and again it does the same thing like that, and 3 3/4, which is like that. So that is now doing all those again now, like it should be. As far as I can tell, with it not on the bench, working at the moment. But so what I'll do, I will do that another time to loosen it up properly. There we go. They're both doing the same thing now, you see. Both of those are now doing the same thing. So I'll do that a few times with the speed control. And you can see the circuit here. Both these wheels are now doing the correct thing, as it were, in playback, in stop. Yeah. So now the one I want is this one, which is going to now do it correctly, as you can see there, like that. You see, 3 3/4, 7 1/2, and 15. Back again like that. That's okay. The other side, again, it should be the same. Once I get the button pressed, hang on. Like that. So now we see it this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, like that. So again, that's working fine in all directions now. So that now should work. What I've done here now is I got the deck on the bench, and I've oiled this side and this side underneath for speed controls. I've got it wired not entirely safely, I admit, to the mains. So there we go, and straight away it comes to life. All set. So now fast this way, goes that way, which is, like I said, so that is going that way. Yeah, okay, right, and that way. That's okay. Right, now so play therefore that way, goes there, and it's 7 1/2, 15, nothing doing, like that. So 15 it sometimes does and it sometimes doesn't, as you see there. And the other way around, like that. Well, with various wheels cleaned, it works sort of. That's fast forward, yeah. Now play back in the forward direction. That's at 3 3/4. That's at 7 8, 7 1/2, and that's at 15. Now notice it does nothing. But also at top speed, it also stops the motors. Now the other way around, there you are. Again, that's okay. Now again here, 33, 3 3/4, 7 1/2, and again there it stops. And it stops because even on play like that, it stops there. Because what happened is these. But anyway, I can see, I don't know, but that's the motor spindle there, which lets you choose the 3 speeds. Yeah. This is the idler wheel, which drives this here, and this here is the idler release wheel. So basically this moves that about like that, you see, on both of this here and that on the other side, which you can't see, but this drives that about. Yeah. Now again, plenty movement there, plenty there, not as much there, and absolutely none there. If you look underneath here on the 15 with the power off, by the way, save the motors, it's slightly low down. Again, slightly low. From the other side now, here's one of the motors on the speed control. The speed control is operated Let's switch underneath, and you can see it turns round like that. As you can see, that's loose that now. Yeah. Now these little nuts here are the ones that I've gone round half a turn. That might do it. If not, this is a case of try and try, you know, because of course I'm going to keep turning the record, this tape deck up and down. But that was solid there. It's then moving freely again, as is this on this side here. This one will be in a minute, and so, and this already is. So I'm just basically, the current situation now is this: going that way, 3 3/4, 1 7/8, sorry, 7 1/2, and it's doing something, but it's not going up to 15, but it's getting close by on the 15 setting. Okay. Now going this way, same way. First of all, there's a little problem there that I might will replace these 2 wheels actually. There's 2 more down there in other sets, so I'll replace those. Well, that's 3 3/4, 7 8, 7 1/2, and of course 15, which again here it tends to go that way. So it's not quite right, but we're going in the right direction with it. Just 15 is the problem here. So basically you've got to try and get this right by right. Now it works on all speeds and all directions, and I'll show you the problem. It's just here. You see that? Yeah. Now that there holds that wheel off the big wheel here. That's pretty off here when it's not in use. Yeah. Same on the other side, by the way. I can't see that on camera here, obviously. I'm just focusing on one of them. Yeah. And so when you do that, yeah, that one will work that way, and the other way will work that way. You see, that's how it works. So now, if I put it on now at 15, there we are, 15, 7 1/2, 3 3/4. I'm back again. See the wheel changing speed there, yeah, and that's okay, as you can see there. Okay. The other way around, 15, 7 1/2, 3 3/4, 7 1/2, 15. This is actually a sound wheel of tape for a sound machine, so I think this wheel will stay with this machine. But anyway, again, the fast winds are different to what they should be on this. So this way is forward, like that. Okay, fine, that's okay, yeah. Just let it go forward, like that. And of course at the same time, this it goes the other way, like that. Okay, so we know from that 1 2 the brakes won't seem to, that's no problem. Now of course, therefore, we need to do the same test as before with the tape on. So that's 3 3/4, that's 7 8, 7 1/4, and that's 15. Okay? 7 1/4 and 15 again. Okay. Here are the electronics of the unit in question. The deck source is down there out of the way, so now we go on to the electronics part of it, which I know does work, but despite that, I always check everything, make sure first of all. So that's okay. That's okay. Yeah. That's okay. Fine. So we know that the F's are common throughout. Right. Okay. So, seeing it was on very recently, and seeing as life's too short to muck about with things like that, on goes the power. Straight away the light comes on the board here. You can see it. Yeah. And so Let's see if any heaters come up. Yeah, that's up, okay, so we know that. You know, there's an old saying, if you don't know what you're doing, do it neatly. And this is such a case. The two capacitors on the power supply here, the smoothers, yeah, should be on either side of T4 like on here. You see that? But in actual fact they're not, they're both on one side. So this, therefore, either doesn't have enough smoothing, it doesn't have enough reservoir capacity on it. Because the smoothing cam, the first capacitor here is a reservoir capacitor, and that one's a smoother. Although I call it a smoothing cam, that's what they do. Yeah. So although 200 volts is a little bit low, it's within the parish according to this. As you can see, I think it's there, 212. Yeah, that's okay. But unfortunately, these two caps. As you can hear now, the voltage, by the way, is up rather higher than it should be, but still okay for these valves. So that's nothing much to worry about. And that capacity, that power supply is now working fine. That's fine as well, by the way, the choke. So power supply, clean bill of health. Now, as far as the amplifier board goes, I've put out this switch D&E, and so at the end there, it simply does. This is the famous post test with the volume turned down, and you can see there that is doing something. So therefore now we go and look at making sure that the ECC83 is okay. We think it is, judging by that. Some sites, no matter how good a job might appear to be, it isn't. This is one case. It stopped generating any noise at all, and the problem was that the ECL82 has in it two valves on the circuit here. If I just holds up for you, see there, it's valves 5 and 3. So there are two separate heaters in the ECL82, and so on. This one has blown one of the heaters, but another one in, and it didn't actually improve matters. And looking further into this, I find that things are not what they should be. As in, yes, it's all been rewired quite beautifully, but it's wrong. When this happens, you need two things, well, three actually. One, right, got the HT wired up correctly on this valve now, and you do what's called the buzz test on this. So get a screwdriver somewhere and just do that. And we'll see from that it's that loud it will go for. So that the pencil section of that is working. But we're going to volume control, and there's nothing. And there's nothing because port E on this circuit here, I'll just show you again. Port E on this circuit here goes to a switch on the record deck here to port D. Okay? You see there? Ports E, port D, E and F. So port E still go to port D. But as you can hear now, I've got the socket at the end tracked out, as it were, by this wire here, which is missing. So now it's back in place. We can see now how it's meant to operate, how it's supposed to operate anyway. This has to be here, but where exactly it is, I don't really know as of yet. But we know from that this lot is working, because if I put my finger on this in here, it'll come out, not that way, look the other way, like that. That's the head. Okay, so we know therefore that the amp is working on playback now. Now with that in mind, switch this deck to play. There again is a D, E and F. You see it right there, yeah? What I've done basically, I've shorted there to there with that pink lead just there, so that's how I've done that. But anyway, that pink lead goes to the edge connector on the main circuit board, and from there it goes to here, which is the circuit connector which goes to the Collaro Tape Transcriptor Deck, which is underneath here. And the Collaro Tape Transcriptor Deck is wired like let's try and find the right one. There again is a D, E and F. You see it right there, yeah? What I've done basically, I've shorted there to there with that pink lead just there, so that's how I've done that. But anyway, that pink lead goes to the edge connector on the main circuit board, and from there it goes to here, which is the circuit connector which goes to the Collaro Tape Transcriptor Deck, which is underneath here. And the Collaro Tape Transcriptor Deck is wired like let's try and find the right one. Right, so this is the connector that goes to that board down there, and so the red wire there goes down here. So I'll just go through all the 8 connectors again and check as to which are which, then see what connects. So that one that works, that one doesn't. Okay, that one doesn't, 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 that one most definitely does. So that one obviously is 1. I think looking at this, that might well be E. So if that is E, then well, just to recap for my benefit here, this here and the other one down there, which I can just get at, I think, is linked to it by a piece of wire. That is the D setting, if you will. It goes to here, and it goes down to here as well. So that's okay. So the D wire goes to both the play switches, okay. And from there, so if we put this one to play first of all, like that, yeah. Do we get anything that we didn't have before? And where do we have it? So we'll come back over here. No. Well, whoever of course did all this on here must have been pissed when they did it, because of course it was where that plugs into down the board there, it's been wired completely wrongly, as has this and this here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to start again. So I've got here now is the amplifier circuit going through here and back to here, the way it was originally. So the trouble now is that there seems to be too much gain. That's one side, and the other side, similar as we can hear. There then, that's at full volume. Well, I think we're finally going places here with this now. That had to go back into the circuit, the Magic Eye, or does actually now operate even on playback. But another thing was that this socket here is in fact faulty, this one here. So what I've done, those two are okay, quite the grave, those two now. I now have this set up quite dangerous on the bench here actually. That's the deck, that amplifier, which you probably can't see, and that's the power supply, which again you probably can't see, but they're working okay. I've checked them, they're okay. Speakers there, again you can't see it, the deck is here. Now because the record deck goes off the power supply, it only off mains directly. For the moment I'm powering the tape deck differently from the amplifier, so if that plugs in like that, yeah, and that comes in like that, the motor comes to life. And now we do that. So go forward with it, because I know that on this tape at the beginning, on the second side, it's not exactly got a lot to do show for itself. So I'll go forward and on the tape quite a bit. I'm going to take both sides to playback. Look at that as well, by the way, mustn't I? Yeah. Also, by the way, I've taken off one of the records playback switches here, so that it doesn't actually cause any problems with playback. So yeah. So anyway, now that's but it's okay, and I think there's something on this side. Well, not, but no, but it's working. So if you go back this way again like that, 3 3/4. So that still works okay. The other way around. I'm sure there's something there. I'm sure it's meant to be something. There was meant to be something on this tape on the other side. What I'll do, I'll turn the tape over manually, and we'll see if it works the other way by playing this side. So I just now take this out here, over here like that, and that out of there like that, and swap the tape over. I've done a million times before, and each time's been a disaster, but never mind. You have to do these things that when you're doing virtual tape recorders, don't you? So that the thing will go on to there now like that. That goes onto there like that, and we'll see if it if I take that one off too. I think I do actually. I'll take that one off to. Okay, so that goes on there like that now. Now again, this will either work or not work. So again, I don't know at this stage on that one, but we'll see. That seems alright to me. So it's not gone bang, it's actually worked. So obviously nothing much on this side, so fair enough. That's fair enough. So it is actually working after its long travels. So a lot of things have to do with it actually to make it safe for one thing. These connectors have to be redone here. That's probably because it's on the bench here. I'll check that and make sure. But these are now longer because I want to put that in and check it before this goes in on top, you see, and there wasn't enough room before, so I'll make these a little bit longer for that very reason. Anyway, I wonder what it does on record. Right, okay, right, so that comes up now. I'll do it this way just for safety's sake and then play. Nothing. Okay, fair enough. That's something that we've got to think about. I'll do that again to make sure. There we go. And back this way like that, and see if it plays it. Yeah. So obviously the record side of it needs to be worked on a bit more. A lot more in fact. But at this stage I'm going to leave this here and call it part 1, because I'm off to Ohio, Akron, Ohio this week to see my girlfriend Katie in Akron. So I've got a lot to do there. So I'll leave this here now. I've got this one that line is working as far as I know. The valves are working. That's working on the back there, but something isn't on the record side, which is fair enough, you know. So we need to find out what it is, and again, I'm trying to find out if it's not working in both directions as well. That's something else. So I'll leave this one here for now. This is Steve Pendlebury, Steve Pendlebury's Vintage Long Stay Workshop, saying have a good Christmas, and I'll see you in the new year. We'll carry on with this, but for the moment it's working.